Hello there. Today we are diving into a design plan for a very small living space. This space is trying to be everything all at once: a living room, a dining room, and a storage area, and it's only 3.6 by 3.5 meters wide. And as you can already see, that's created a few issues with the layout, a lack of cohesion with the furniture, and some of the color choices. So today we are going to sort that out. Welcome to episode 1 of my new series called the Makeover Blueprint, where I take real rooms and diagnose their problems and show you exactly how to fix it. My goal here is to give you clear, practical solutions that you can hopefully adapt to use in your own home. So let's go. So first cab off the rank is actually my mum's living room. Her name is Effie, and she's asked me for my help on how to make better use of her space. So I always like to start with making a wish list and a list of pain points. So her wish list is space for living, dining for 6 to 7 people, and a storage solution, some better lighting, better access to the power point behind the couch, and a larger area rug because the tile floor is quite cold and hard. Her pain points are there's no room to walk around the dining chairs, especially when someone is sitting in them and they are pulled out. The spare dining chairs, which are used when the table is extended, are stacked to the side and visible and also wasting space. And that left cabinet door cannot open completely because it always opens into the chairs. She says her TV is too low and it gives her a sore neck, and that sitting on the couch feels rather cramped and squishy. So let's start with the layout. So here we've got our cabinets to the right, the angled TV hutch, and the dining table in the center. And the first thing I'm going to address is the couch. Her current couch has really wide arms, which doesn't leave much space for adults to sit. 2 adults end up sitting quite close, maybe a little bit closer than they would like, and so she would love a couch that provides a little bit more personal space. So I'm swapping it out for a couch with some slim arms. Now this wall is only 1.6 meters wide, so the new couch actually overhangs just by a little bit. So instead of fighting that, I'm going to make it look intentional by adding a console table that wraps around the side of the wall that covers the overhang of the couch. Console tables behind sofas are such a good solution when a coffee table just isn't practical. We can also install a recessed power point so that she has a neat spot for her chargers and solves the PowerPoint accessibility issue. Next, the cabinets. Unfortunately, they need to go. They're just simply too large for the space. And this island bench just off to the side here in the kitchen, we don't actually use that as an island. So removing all of this kind of opens up the floor space and lets us move the dining table into the corner to create a bit of a banquet seating situation. And we have 2 options here. We could go for an upholstered banquet. There's actually some really nice ones that you can get from Castlery, or we could build one ourselves, which I think is the direction that I'm going to be taking, because if we build it ourselves, we can extend the cabinetry further along to the right for some extra storage and mount the TV above it, then solving her sore neck problem. And we can also finish off the space with a nice large area rug, a mirror, and some better lighting around the room. So let's talk colors now, because this has been such an interesting study in color theory. Older homes in particular come with their own sort of built-in color palette, and if you don't sort of work with that, things can start to clash quite quickly. So let's have a look at what we have in this room. We have some red tone floors, we have some orange cabinetry, and we have some darker wood trims, again, more in those red orangey tones. Now let's talk about where things went wrong. So my mum, she went ahead and painted the walls green, she added a blue rug, and she brought in wood furniture that has yellow undertones. So if we look at our color wheel, red and orange and green and blue are either opposites or near opposites on the color wheel. You often see these pairings, like you often see red and green together, you often see blue and orange together. Things that are opposite on the color wheel are considered kind of harmonious color groups. Her choice for the wall color and for the rug are generally good choices because the blue and green works with the red and orange tones. But then she brought in the yellow toned wood furniture, and I think that's where things started to go wrong. You can see on the color wheel when you add in yellow, there's nothing adjacent to it and there's nothing opposite to it to help balance it out and make it look purposeful and like it has a place to belong in there. So that's why the yellow furniture just started to kind of look like it clashed in the space a little bit. So moving forward with my color palette, I'm going to be sticking to what's already working with those red and orange tones because we're not changing any of that. We're keeping all of that exactly as it is. And we're also going to be introducing more from the opposing side of the color palette with blues and greens. Now for the fun part, materials and furniture choices. I've actually made a little bit of a collection of samples here. So as you can see, I've got a little bit of a collection going here. So this is actually a cushion cover from the new couch. So this is kind of bringing in more of that red tone. And we have our new wall color here. It's a mellow beige color. And this will be the color of our cabinetry, which is just a nice sort of browny tone with sort of more reddish undertones. I then chose a fabric for the banquette cushion, which is just sort of a nice blue and grey fabric. And it looks really nice with this kitchen tile. So this is actually going to go over the existing tiles. It's just a peel and stick tile, just because these are going to be right next to each other essentially. So it'll look really nice to kind of have the kitchen tying in with the new plan in the living room. And I went and got a few more samples as well. This I think is just really pretty. I want to make a cushion out of it. And this is very similar to the fabric that we'll be using in the dining chairs. New kitchen bench top as well. So I actually created a render with some of the actual furniture pieces that I plan to use in the space so that you can kind of imagine the before and after before we actually do it. So here is the original on the wall side with the tall cabinets, the dining table in the center, and now you can see here in our render we've got our banquette with our built-in cabinetry. We'll use a rectangular dining table in walnut, and we'll use some curved chairs to help soften the space. I'll also add some shelving above the TV where we can store some books and maybe a plant or two. And for the couch area, here's a reminder of the before. Quite a bulky couch, not much practicality around there. And with our new design plan, we have our new red couch. We have the console table behind it that wraps around the corner, and we'll balance it with a beautiful Protea artwork that has tones of red and green in it. And I found this little retro Bauhaus style wall light, which I think will just look super cute on this wall. And we'll also add LED lighting around the room so that she has beautiful soft illumination at night. So what do you think of these solutions? Please let me know in the comments what you think. I hope you found them inspiring or helpful in some way. And also, if you would like to see the final result of this makeover plan, please consider subscribing because we are already hard at work on the plan and I'd love to have you along for the ride. So thank you for watching and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Bye from Maggie too.